So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Live, episode 35. Good to be confirmed. Evening, guys.
Hello.
Good evening.
Okay, so instantly you'll recognize that they're a bit short on the panel tonight. So there's a clear reason for that. Liam is off for the next 2 weeks. Okay, he's got a bit of a holiday with his young lad. You'll see he's put a post on the page. So he's got a week of crazy work, and then he's got a week with his son. So that's all good news, and all the best to you, mate. And enjoy your time, because obviously precious time with kids when they grow up very, very fast. So we'll be covering the page and the show tonight, and then obviously Ren's about as well a little later on. And Stu will be about the weekend as well. So there's folks. In fact, here he is. Here's Ren's now. That was quick.
Ren. All right.
Hello, mate. Good evening, Ren. Yeah. That was good timing.
Hey, everyone.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. So, and as ever, Pro Beast got timed out before we even started on the chat. So there we go. Be a good boy. You can come back in. So he's not a bad lad, but he just gets a bit excited in the chat. So we'll go straight into slides. We've got 15 slides tonight, all presented and prepped, obviously, for the show by Andrew, as ever. Okay, so he's done some great work, as he always does. Contentious, I think, is what we'll say for this week's update. Would you agree, guys?
Depends on the perspective, I guess. I mean, it all depends on which one we're talking about.
Well, I'm gonna go back to Yo Dog. I heard you like TLCs, so we put a TLC in your TLC.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see how it goes then, shall we? I'll bring up the slides. We'll see how it progresses, and then we'll chat about them. So, right. So I'll just say present to everybody. Hopefully everyone can see that.
Looks fine.
It looks okay, does it? Good. Right. Right then, so here we go then, TFC episode 35, okay, 25th of October 2016. That's for the British people. It's in obviously English. So slide pack contains... Can you see it on YouTube?
I'm not seeing the slides. I'm not seeing the slides on the YouTube.
Takes about 3 minutes to come up normally, 2 or 3 minutes. There's a bit of lag.
Yeah, they're on there. There's like a 30-second delay, but they're just fine on the YouTube chat right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good news. Right, we're there then. So this release includes, as you can see there then, well, you can all read it. So the Revenge raids, okay, then Clash of the Titans, Dark Reign, the War Games 3, mining base changes, bug fixes and tuning. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Here we go, one at a time there. So the Raiders Revenge then, okay. So time limit campaigns, there's a considerable amount of time limit campaigns. 4, isn't it, in total, I think?
Yes,
so we just
there's a total of 4 time-limited campaigns, all for the next week, all starting today.
Yeah, so they're off and they're running and that sort of stuff. I know some people have already won some of the prizes. That's good. So this campaign, as you can see there, it's level 60s and above. For the duration timings, and for each then you get 6 hours for run 1, 3 hours for run 2, and 1 hour for run 3. So that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Typical-ish. I mean, sometimes it used to be 12 hours for the first one, didn't it? But it's gone for 6. But there's only 3 runs, so
right.
But there we go. So that's and it's base hitting. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So here we go. So price pack 1 and 2, you can see there. Then obviously price pack 1 then gets you the actual ship itself, and obviously a build token, which is quite happy. Keep an eye on the build token counter as we go through these, by the way. So there's a 1-day revenge build token there. Then price pack 2, it's nice you get a concussive Gatling gun, because a lot of people didn't get that when it came out first time round. I know people have been complaining about that. Then they get some more build tokens as well. And it's interesting that you get the Harlock revenge build token, but you haven't got the hull yet. So just bear that in mind. So
they believe in you.
But they believe that obviously if you can complete this in the time frame, then obviously you're good to go to the next level, which is obviously the Harlock Revenge flagship itself, And then obviously you get the flagship build tokens. So it's only a 1 day, but that's 2 days off at least. That's something.
Did we go from price pack 1 to 3? Oh no,
so
you had 2 of them on this.
There's price pack 1 and 2, yeah.
My bad.
And then there's price pack 3 itself. And you get a nice badge. Quite like that badge, I have to say.
Yes.
It's a bit clinical for me. I quite like it. It's up my street, that one. So
I kind of like
I find it a little creepy.
Well, it's Halloweenish. That'll do. Stab in the heart. It's quite good. I quite like it.
It's Glenn. It's Glenn's heart from what's that show? Walking Dead. That's what it is. They timed it perfectly.
But
And a lot of people didn't watch that yet, so
spoiler alert. What's your
Spoiler alert. Damn it. Oh, well. Sorry,
welcome back, Pro Beast. He's back. Mate, every time I start the show, I'm just going to put you in timeout just because I find it's funny. But there we go. That's just a little thing between me and you now. But anyway, so Pro Beast is back in the chat. Welcome back, buddy. I was supposed to say Pro Beast is God. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's what he liked anyway. So anyway,
just don't say his name 3 times next to a mirror, and you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I like the badge because it's red, white, and blue, and I think that sort of just looks quite cool.
Because nothing says America like stabbing people through the heart. I don't think that's how that works, you guys.
Maybe
that is not. That is
reminds me of
foundation
Dexter
our country was built on.
Reminds you of who, Ren?
Dexter.
All right.
I missed that show.
It's quite funny. I like the badge. It's a good one. So I'll be sticking it on the base because I like the badges, which is good fun. Right. So there we go. So that's Price Pack 3. So the Harlock's Revenge. So I think what we ought to do is look at the stats, and then we'll have a little chat about it. Ren, have you seen the? I don't know if George has either. Have you seen the stats yet for the ship?
I have.
It's worth discussing. I think definitely.
Yes.
Oh, it's a big busy page. So what have we got here? Because I haven't seen them either. So capacity is 1. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? It's the Conqueror class, Forsaken only. Let's have a look down through the stats then. Concussive damage, 315%.
That's the same. That's what it was on the actual ship.
Just keep going. Wait till you get
keep going.
So the ballistic defenses, the defenses are the same, aren't they? They look pretty even. 3-7, 3-7, 3-9. That looks the same. Map, there's no change there. Miscellaneous repair time 110. Cargo, that's the same. Armor slot, special shots. Field effects, range 2000. What? Ballistic defense 11. What?
Oh yeah, now you're getting good stuff.
Oh yes,
Mamma mia! Check that out.
Oh yes, this thing. How do we say this?
Damage plus 75.
There was
reload
there
plus
was
75.
a rumor. Yes, there was a rumor that maybe last week someone may have said OP in relation.
Wait a second. I want to watch Brian dying on camera.
Brian having a moment there.
Brian's dying, man.
He is. He's sweating. He's laughing so hard.
Not dead.
Not dead. Took his inhaler. He's good.
Gone red, or was that just his camera's changed, or what?
No, that was me
gone
laughing
red.
so hard at your reaction to this live on air, and then I remembered what the ship actually did, and then I almost died. It was great.
So it's good. So we're cold snap immune. Okay, we can do 20 stacks. We've got field resistance of 70%, concussive deflection of 750, corrosive deflection 750, radioactive deflection.
I don't think any of that matters at this point.
But the point is, yeah, it's the field effect, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah. Now the question is, well, I'm pretty sure the flagship effect actually affects the ship itself. In which case, wow. That's about all I can say.
Well, it says it there.
Yeah, it affects all of them, right? The normal revenge.
I know.
Yeah.
I was.
But bear in mind,
that was partly facetious. So
okay, So noting then, actually, without getting tied into the statistics, the flagship effect is only affecting on other revenge hulls, and you can't stick it with a Fury or something or other because that won't work.
Right.
Now, one thing to keep in mind there's all those massive deflections, right? But the base armor is very low for a Conqueror hull. It's only 22,000.
Yes.
Right? So nothing near 90,000, 100,000 that you have in some of the other Conquerors. This one is just 22,000. So, even if it keeps taking minimum damage at a high rate, it's going to die.
So the only thing you could tank this one up with, because the fix time is quite reasonable, is maybe put on some Scourge armor sort of stuff, or God forbid it, bulkhead, not but the speed and turn armor, or some evade, because that's not too bad. There's no point putting any deflection stuff on. It's a waste of time.
They did offer Agility 4, and Agility 4 is a pretty good put on here, or you can do Guidance Scrambler 3. But foreshadowing, there's actually something we'll get to later that might make another armor choice pretty good for this, I feel.
But it's just remember, this thing turns like a pig. All right, so just bear that in mind. It's terrible. It goes in a straight line nicely, but as soon as you go around the corners, so you need to consider which engine and obviously which special. And I know some of mine have got thrusters on already.
But guys, the range is 2,000. Stick it in the corner.
No, that's the range
No.
of the field.
The range of the field is 20,000. You're hitting people in the next
20,000.
world with this field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can park it in the
Stick
corner.
it in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Wow.
And then there's the extra damage and reload as well. We didn't hit on that.
Yeah. Concussive damage plus
I think
75%.
Mark was too stunned at that point.
I'm just thinking the Gatling guns, and that's got 11,000 deflection on it.
Yep.
Well, the original Revengers, at first, they could take on Executioner turrets really well. Then people buffed them with a lot of fire support and specials and whatnot, up to a point where the Executioner started hurting the Revengers big time.
Yeah.
But now it's adding another 9,000 penetrative deflection. So I can
we need the
see
old slide. Yeah, we need the old slide. What was this? What was your because you did a calculating slide on that, didn't you, Ren?
I had one, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was at the top of my head because I know we split because obviously there's more volleys, missiles coming out the Dead Eyes as opposed to the standard execution.
Yeah. I mean, with plus 9,000, pretty much you're going to see the Revenge being able to take Executioner fire just like a Vendetta does. I mean, if you put a Vendetta being fired at by Executioners, it barely scratches, right? And probably that's what you're going to see here.
Yeah, that range doesn't seem right, does it? Though that's because that's like 5 bases width.
They like the number 0 a lot, you guys.
Or is something coming up so you can take this in somewhere else, maybe? Because that's a ridiculous amount. That's as big as a Draconian base, isn't it?
Yeah, 20,000 should reach to end of any map that we currently have.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, that's a mofo, that thing, then, isn't it?
Is this? I'm trying to look, and it's an unreactive as well. So I'm not sure. I mean, that's a lot of deflections. And that's a lot of deflections added to other Revenges. So
that is in fact all the deflections.
There's nothing it doesn't deflect against. So if you remember rightly, if you put on like AA3 or something like that, you can obviously bring your stats up to quite reasonable if you want to deflect against something particular because it's only minus 60%. So your ballistic defense, you can still bring up like ballistic or explosive or penetrative. You can do that if you want to. It is possible to get them into positive figures on one of them. In fact, if you use the old combination special as well, you don't reduce your speed. You can bring them up to, if you want to on this particular tank. I wouldn't recommend it on the rest of them, but if you want on this tank to bring the rest of the stats up. But like you say, it might just be a case of just build it light and put it in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm finding the D5 whatever for
that's
R15.
And the D5 and D6, yeah.
R15 D5X, the non-limited version, is going to bring up your basic resistances to like 5%, a little over 0, but that's all you need because these things have such high defense bypass anyways. Your radioactive's still going to be pretty low, but let me just look back here. 4,800 deflection, you're probably going to be okay with that.
Well, but it's 4,800 plus 750 when you get to Bloodthirst.
Of course, yeah.
Because there's that too, right? So I got the base deflection plus the flagship deflections plus the bloodthirsty deflection.
But the point is, to me, I'm just thinking, that range can't be right. I'm just going to put this as a blank hole with one anti on it and stick it in the corner, and then just go and do the rest, and go and do the work with the rest of the other 4 ships because this doesn't need to get hit at all. Which means I can build it in whatever the whole time takes plus 1 item on it. Or am I reading that wrong?
No, I mean, that's why I pointed it out. I mean, when I was looking at this earlier, a lot of things struck me. That was one of them.
And the other annoying thing with that is that means the field effect is going to show, which means you're going to have an overview now of the whole base or the whole item you're attacking.
I hope it doesn't show. I don't think
it's going to show. If it does, it's going to be like a blanket color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, oh God. Or remind me. Frosty, the Frosty field, like you see the Frosty field, don't you? If they do
like
that,
the ring.
Yeah, it's going to cover your whole freaking base.
I hope it doesn't.
I hope it doesn't either, because it's so big.
It should go right on the boundary, shouldn't it? It should.
Yeah, then it would just be at the edges of the map,
which is just the color.
I'm wondering maybe if it's set up like that because it's like you know, the Savage, there's no range at all, or there's no listed range. You know what I mean? And you can park it in the corner. And
For its effect, yeah, it doesn't have one. Yeah, I mean,
right.
yeah, as
maybe,
you penetrative reload
range,
and penetrative, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that range is just their blanket range, you know, value for something like that, and we just never saw it before.
But it has the key word there, field effect. Whereas on the Savage, it doesn't have a field. It just has a blanket piece, doesn't it? So anyway, okay, all right. So it's a bit of a monster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot. If you take a look, the very last line, this escalates the power of your revenge fleet to tier 5.5.
Yeah.
So
which was
you have turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've turned it up to 11, but I mean, it's a little awkward because this was designed right at the start. It was the first Conqueror ship that we got. The original Revenge was designed so differently from every other one. It had a bunch of buffs and nerfs and changes before this even happened. I still think this is a little too good because it gives you deflection against everything. I mean, there's weaker deflections, obviously, concussive and corrosive, but like, oh, and the other thing too is that is time T equals 6 months since the Revenge has been offered, that they've upped the tier on this. So nice mitigating power creep, guys. Good job. And nice 10-month shelf life, guys. Good job.
Well,
are you being serious or sarcastic?
I wonder.
Here's the other catch though is
because I think it's serious. I mean, the Revenges have become useless by now. Nobody was hitting bases with Revenges anymore. And this kind of brings them back in line with the other hulls, the other Conquerors, where this guy has super deflections, but again, it has a very, very low base armor compared to the others. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the weakness. I mean, you keep a whole bunch of like a Protodon firing missiles at it non-stop, and eventually it's going to kill it.
Yeah, but we're also coming to the end of the Conqueror class set that we have. And we're going to start into the next set coming as well. So this might be the transition into the next set where, maybe in December we're getting a Defender hull that does something special. Or maybe, who knows, it boosts damage to turrets. I mean, something.
I can just see...
This is going to be the transition.
Yeah, I can just see me throwing RA3 on my others and then putting this in there as well. I mean, RA3 will take it up to positive figures, probably get me up around about 100... R15, probably about 135k in armor defense real-time points for ballistic, penetrative deflection, resistance, and then I get the boost as well of the deflection of 9,000. That's quite reasonable.
Yeah, but don't most of the turrets have bypass for
yes,
defense?
they do.
So
they do.
Bumping it up is pointless. The deflection is what counts in the base.
It's not pointless against Protodons or other ships firing.
No, yes,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's the guys.
And that's where the high volume comes from usually.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can still get this up to about 135 to 140, I think it is.
Radioactive can still hurt it a lot. I mean, if you add up the radioactive defense there, a good shockwave will still hurt it, like, significantly.
Well, it says unreactive, though.
Well...
Yeah, but there's still, we've seen some unreactives before.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you can shockwave it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's good. I quite like it. I mean, even if you do put some other Revenges in, you might want to put 2 Revenges and then maybe 2 Furies or something like that. You can still play around with things.
Yeah.
Or a couple of, Mort Chuckers as well. So,
I mean, I am glad that this brings Revenges back because they were seeing slow to play. I just feel, and even it says at the end tier 5.5 that it brings them back to the top where there's not necessarily a middle ground, but like a 3/4 up ground that this could have been to put them right in line with the rest of the lot. But I mean, Kix likes their half tiers and quarter tiers, so Yeah,
interesting. Okay, let's move on. So, Clash of Titans then, number 2. Is it number 2? Is it the second time this has gone? I thought it was his third time.
This is the third
well,
time.
the first time didn't have the drone module, I believe.
Ah, right, okay. So here we are then. I'm quite fortunate my Hyperion finishes actually in about 3.5 days, so I might do this one this weekend. But there we go. So prize pack 1, as you can see there, it's obviously the rocket module, and people that have got it and have fitted it, they like it. I've got a couple of guys at my alliance are quite enjoying the Hyperion experience at the moment. They're going around having quite a bit of a laugh. The engine up mod, the kinetic engine module. I'm not sure what the other one's like, to be honest, but the kinetic one seems to be quite popular. And obviously, the drone, that's getting important, isn't it? Obviously, the missile strike for the drones, because we know that the linkage is coming in soon. So,
Yes.
you're right there, Brian. You're standing up having a stretch.
You were talking about mag holes, so
Oh, what a big yawn. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
no, I got a book.
He's got a book out now.
No.
He and Ren are both just whatever.
Okay, so I think the general consensus, though, basically, if you're going to go through this campaign, I think most people go through the first 1 or 2, and then they find they have to actually put the prize pack 1. No, yeah, they go through prize pack 1, sorry, get it, and then have to fit it, and then they can continue on and do the other 2. And without doing so, I don't think you're going to get all the way through, unless I'm wrong. But that's the information I was receiving from a couple of players that have done this.
That's
which is
what
a bit
I heard as
naughty.
well. Well, you know, the good thing is you said yours is finishing up soon. You know, it's three days to add something onto it. You might have to add something, it's like another cannon or 2 to get by, through prize pack 1.
Yeah.
But in another TLC, there are Hyperion fragments that you can use.
There are, yeah. So I might play it. Well,
Planning.
it's a quiet week this week for me personally, so it'll give me something to do. I'll have a look at it and that sort of stuff, and if I like it, I'll do it. If I don't like it, I'll leave it. And I'll also vote for the recycle button like Ren does. So we'll see. I thought we'd lost Ren for a minute then, because obviously we're talking that horrible word that he hates leadership. But
He's already got it. He's already got his book.
Yeah, exactly. He's all right. He's away. So that's good. So there you go. That's Clash of the Titans number 2. Okay, and enjoy it for those. Timelines are exactly the same as the previous one. So Dark Reign 3 this time. Okay then. So there we go. Price packs 1 and 2. This one is the level requirement is level 65. So we've gone up 5 levels from the first one. Price pack 1, great. You can get a Vendetta ship build if you really want it. There's some Gales in this one, which I quite like. You get the countermeasure loader 2, and obviously the counter equipment if you want it as well. So, price pack 2 is more interesting than price pack 1, obviously for the same reason. But obviously, you get some more Gales yet again, another build token.
Hey, Mark, what is this camp again? What are we fighting against? I forgot.
The Dark Reign one.
Yeah, what is it?
Legion Assault Forces.
Assault Fort, yeah.
The Civil War campaign.
You can carve them up, remember, and if you want to, you can go in, do a little bit, come back out, exit, and then fix, and then go back in and go. Obviously there's a time limit, but
So we're fighting Legion, pretty much.
yeah, this is the 3rd time this one's come out, and to be honest, the price is quite reasonable for the amount of damage you take. Well, I thought were quite reasonable for the amount of damage you're taking, because you could carve these targets up.
Yeah.
So what do we recommend to beat this one?
Apollos.
It's definitely Apollos. Yeah, if you've got them. Obviously, you can't do any subs because it's just there's thermal everywhere.
Okay, so Apollos or Rhinos.
Yeah, a tank with Rhinos. Yeah.
And then there's some of the people were hiding and then putting a vank and triggering the ships and running back and letting all the ships get trashed and that sort of stuff, and then going forward with other things to kill the token. The buildings you can take from a distance with some of your long fire concussive weapons and that sort of stuff. Was it concussive? Anyway, but some of them come out range. Some of the turrets, especially the scatters and that sort of stuff. So there was lots of people doing different things to do limit damage.
So in YouTube chat, Laredo just posted Dark Reign 3 was changed to level 60 plus bases.
Oh, interesting.
So let me refresh this here.
Oh yeah, I thought Andrew.
Have a look at that, Brian, if you could.
Capacity of the Vendetta. Oh no, okay. I'll need to open the game.
All of them, the level requirements is 60. That was done earlier today when they changed the amount of tokens.
Okay, so that's and I'll change that then before we put that up. If that's been taken down 5 levels, then that's good. Do you want to check that on the forums?
Confirmed. Yeah, confirmed by.
I already know. Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
Okay,
George
so we'll
looked in
change
the
that. Yeah. So we'll check that then before we put the PDF, and I'll change it back down to 60. That's good. Okay, so that levels it off now with the first campaign. That's good. That's more like it. Right. Okay, so that's price pack 1, price pack 2, and then moving on again. Then so we've got price pack. Bear in mind, there's 4 rounds of this then. So price pack 3, then obviously there they go. It's the first time you get in the Gale system free, which is a nice thing to have because a lot of people have run out of Gales. So I believe even if you've done this campaign, you should be able to do it again and get some more, which is great.
I wish there was more of them available, though.
Yeah. Notice then we're on obviously the limited holes now, and those limited holes, they increased. They've not increased the capacity. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So you're going to get some gales, I get that, and you might get a token for doing that one. But if you've already got the resonance capacitor and the omega, then you're obviously not going to get another one. So just bear that in mind. And the same thing then, price pack 4. More gales available. You've already got the Harlock Citadel. You're not going to get another one. Coax or Firestorm you've already got, but if you want another Vendetta token, then obviously you can get one. So
I really wanted a second Harlock Citadel.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one either, to be honest, because mine's sat in my base, and I don't tend to take it out because it does so flipping well in there. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. One's better than none, and I quite like it, so you know it works for me. But I can only see people that have already got it going through this to pick up some more gales because you can't get them anywhere else anymore, can you? So. It's
no, that's the place, and I remember people on the page recently saying that, hey, where can I get them? I want them. Yeah. So there you go.
So that's 6 gales, isn't it, in total, if I remember rightly, isn't it?
It's a mix of 2s and 1s and 3s.
Yeah. But it's in total, so it says 3 there, isn't there? 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So you get 7 gales. Okay, that's reasonable. That's not bad.
Yeah, wait, there's more.
I need more Gale 3s. I mean, a lot of the Punisher builds that I was building for tanks, for the FMs and stuff, heavily depend on the Gales. One of them is heavy on Gale 2, one of them is all Gale 3. So,
yeah, but I mean that's not too bad. I mean that's 4, and you get 5. You get 5, so you get 3 Gale 2s, and you get 2 Gale 3s, and then you get 2 Gale 1s or something like that. So that's not too bad, is it? It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. But is it worth doing the campaign just to get the Gales? Everybody's going to have to make their own decision on that one. It's their time, seat time, or their coinage they're spending. It's up to them. So, and there's price pack 5, okay then, which obviously is the Zoe. Capacity yet again has not increased, and there's the Vendetta hull itself if you wanted it, if you haven't got it before. So
it's actually 9 gales total now.
So yeah, we're up now, aren't we? Yeah. So there's another 2 as well. So that's 3 3s now, isn't it? And 3 2s as well. Or is it 4 2s? That's reasonable. That's enough to do a tank.
I would like to point out to everybody, especially those that don't have the Vendetta, in this whole thing, if you go through all 5 packs, you end up with 15 one-day Vendetta tokens.
Which can stack, can't they?
Yes, you can stack all the way up to 15 on that and the Revenge, I think.
You can probably 15 days of Vendetta tokens. I believe you can get 2 fully built Vendettas, give or take.
Yeah.
No armor, but specials and weapons.
Yeah. So
it's my first 10.
I like this campaign. I must admit, I went through it. I enjoyed doing it because it's nice because you can dissect the targets, that's the sort of campaign I like to do.
It's a good catching up mechanic because I think people who are feeling left out of base hitting, you can on price pack 1 of the other campaign get the Revenge, and if you can get through this one and to end, you can get Vendetta. So if you have regular Vendetta, regular Revenges, you're already a base hitter. There you go.
And even if you can't, Tier 3's got the Omega Behemoth. That's a great lead ship for something you'd want to use in Siege or doing 102s with Punishers. Tier 4 is Harlock Citadel, and that's fantastic. So even if you don't have the Apollo, you can probably still get a lot of good stuff done.
Yeah, I think I agree. George, you've got moderation, by the way.
This is one. Oh, do I?
Yeah. I'll leave that.
No wonder.
This is one of those campaigns that I really hope people, if they're going to try some, this is one that you got to try. I mean, especially even if you only have the
Rhinos.
Oh, see, I'm blanking on that. Yeah, Rhinos. Thank you. It's worth trying to get it because I have with a Punisher and a Harlock Citadel only, you can do the FM to tier 5. I mean, if you want to bump your game up easily, this is it. And the Vendetta is still a fantastic base hitting hull. I mean,
yeah, and it's great for doing 109s as well. I use it quite a lot. I've got Citadels and I've obviously got these as well, Vendettas, and I chop and change from one to the other. They work fine. They work fine. So.
So yeah, this is one of those campaigns out of all four of the campaigns that we have available. This is probably one that people should try and get through. I think
So,
this is probably the one that I would recommend.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is the campaign to if you want to catch up. This is the one to pick. You're going to get some good kit here. It's good stuff, and I'm going to do it just to get the Gales because I've run out virtually, particularly the 3s and 2s. I think I've run out as well, so I'll be doing it just for those, and I'll ignore the rest of the tokens and I don't care whether I get the holes or not because I've already got them. So I'm still going to do it. Right. Okay. So that's the Dark Reign campaign 3rd run. Good news. So here we go. War Games price pack 1 and 2. So who remembers which one War Games was?
The other base hitting one.
It's a proper base hitter, this one, isn't it?
Well, isn't Raiders?
This is the one where they hit player inspired with base design.
Don't they hit your base, don't they, Ren?
Oh, on level 2. I mean, then there's J-Boy and Liam and Vlad on level 3. And level 1 is just like bases created like
generic. Yeah. This is one where the I think I walked people through the first 3 just to use, like, if they had Punishers or Rhinos or anything,
So if they haven't changed that, if they haven't changed on my YouTube channel, there's a video running each encounter, level 1, 2, and 3, so you can see all the base hits in there.
Okay.
Get an idea of how to beat it, right?
Yeah, no, totally, absolutely agree. Yet again, for those that have already built that big hole that sits outside your base, with no recycle button, there are things in there that you can't utilize. Obviously, or you'll gain them, but you can't utilize them. For those that are nearly getting to that stage of either completing the gantry or completing the hole, then this is a nice win-win for you. So it does work. I quite like thermonuclear launcher just for the range and the weight. I quite like it, I have to say. For the weight, for what it is, I think it's has a good return.
Yeah, the only caution I tell people about the thermonuclear launcher is that only 1 ship or 2 with them will not do damage because their hit damage is super low. Where they excel is like when you bunch up a few of them together and you get them to shockwave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
So if you don't build critical mass or shockwave, they're only good as spotters.
Yeah,
right.
But they do make good spotters because the range is great.
They make great spotters, yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is on price pack 3, right? The retribution's there.
Yep, there it is.
And and again, this is the only Conqueror hull with thermal. So I often use it, even one of them on most of my fleets, because when I go hit bases, sometimes people have Hell Raids and other subs around. This is your sub spotter if you're hitting bases. You need one of those, right? You need to go in to clean up subs.
Yeah, sub spotter. It also is great to prep. It's a very versatile hull once you get used to how you can use it.
Yep, and I always use one of them mixed up with the others, right?
I find a real good use for this when I'm not needing it for base hitting. I go and stick the Omega outside, and I stick 3 Furies in it, and I stick this in it as well, and then wait for some arsehole to come and hit me that likes sinking ships outside. They don't last 2 seconds because this just rolls into the center, and the Furies annihilate them. Literally 2 seconds, and they're sunk. So whatever sub they're coming in with, don't care if it's a Ghost Crawler or even if obviously it's Hell Wraiths, they're dead in seconds, and I've wiped every set out so far. I just keep changing the front ship to be somebody else. So it's brilliant as a sub spot. It absolutely does. But then the thing I like about this here is obviously if you can get the price pack 3, that means you're going to build one of these for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, because you get 11 days worth of tokens there.
Yeah, a couple of them even.
Yeah. Well, if you build one fully tanked up and that sort of stuff, armor or no armor, it makes a difference, obviously, because there's only certain amounts of armor you can put on it. You can definitely get one completed all the way right through on 11 days worth of tokens, or 2 light ones, as you said there, for the same amount of time as well. So, yeah, it's but it's not an easy campaign. So the price pack is good and the hull is very good, but it's
I mean, to set expectations right. I'm gonna say that like it is. You must have revenges and vendettas to be able to get through this campaign, at least.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you don't have a couple of revenges, a couple of vendettas, you won't make it through, right? Unless I don't even think you can coin your way through if you don't have the right Conqueror hull. With other non-Conqueror hulls, you can make it. Period.
So the only thing that obviously to add to that is obviously look at Ren's videos because he's done these before, and you can pick them up off on the Forsaken Council website because Ren's YouTube channel is linked onto there, and you'll see that he's done it all in stages for everybody. And obviously these bases that you're hitting, they don't bubble, so you can go in and out and chop them about and that sort of stuff and do things slightly differently. But you are on a timer, so bear in mind it gets very hard come the last round. So
it does. You know, you run out of time if you go in and out too many times. Yeah.
So there's an interesting thing that Kixeye is doing with these TLCs and the prize packs, not just including limited components and such to make everyone go through them multiple times. I mean, that's kind of a given, but Gales are nice. What they do is the ship is in the last prize pack of the whole set, but they give you build tokens along the way in addition to the big payoff at the end. To everyone listening, please do not fall into the trap. Do not think that you have to go and finish the campaign no matter the cost just to get the hull. If you didn't really want the hull, you can just stop and cut your losses. It's going to be fine.
It's a draw, isn't it?
It is a draw.
Go back one slide. Go back one slide. So you can illustrate what Brian's saying. Where is it? There. So you see that those are the tokens Brian's talking about at the bottom.
Yeah, the Retribution shipbuild tokens, when you've not yet won the Retribution, may make you think that you have to go on and complete it, and you don't.
It's the carrot,
don't worry
isn't it?
about it.
It's the carrot.
And I think
that's
in one
generous.
sense, it's a
It feels
carrot.
like it's getting boxed.
Yeah, for the people
If
that
I'm
don't
getting
have
it
it, it's
right,
a carrot.
the
And
point
for the
is-
people that already have it, it's a bonus.
Yeah, but even if you don't, I mean, let's say you do the other campaign and you do price pack 1 and now you have revenges. And let's say, you know, you're able to get the vendettas as well this time. So I would, if you can, I mean, you're not going to coin out the revenges and vendettas you just won, but if you can, let's say, do price pack 1 here and get that 1 token. So next month or whenever Kixeye brings more games back, because the 3rd time, so I would think there's going to be a 4th, you know, then you already have a token. Then by then you're going to have your vendettas and revenges built, and then you do all the way to price pack 3, because once you have them, it's fairly easy.
So there's going to be one guy who goes out and does all the Revenge Raiders and coins the Harlock's Revenge and just styles on this campaign. Someone's going to do it.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think Laredo's already building his. Actually, I think he said. Hacker.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's got those mod coins. You know what it's like. Anyway.
We shall not discuss that.
Yeah, the moderators get a lot of free coins.
You got about, was it 10,000 a month or something?
Oh, man. Come on, guys.
Joke. Yes, I'm joking.
Last time I saw they were getting, what, 3,000 coins a month to be mods?
$1 million.
Depends how many rants they get against them on the forums. I don't know. Anyway. But
Yeah, it's hazard pay.
No, we should get someone out this week.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
Every Tuesday we
so.
do get hazard pay.
So I'm going to go past that one. I'm going to come back to that one. So I'm changing the order slightly. So bug fixes in tune then. So go on, Brian. You like these? I'll forget, mate.
Corrected several instances where unnecessary dividing lines appeared in the stat block for holes. Okay.
Did they?
Whatever.
I haven't seen them.
I think part of that stems from that whole, cold snap immune thing. But then there was a line, and there was another text block, and people were reading that as 2 separate things rather than one.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think that's what that one was.
Okay.
Okay.
No, James, mods do not get free coins. It was a joke. Okay, mate?
It's a long.
No, they do. They do. It's true. It's a conspiracy.
Ren, stop it. Go on, Brian.
I can't even see my tinfoil hat right now.
They're all paid by Kixeye.
You all see the triangles in YouTube chat right now? Made some adjustments that should help to prevent cases where a player's feet could get stuck in the docking state due to a world map server disruption.
Whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure that
I have noticed that this week.
I've seen pictures where everyone, like all of the fleets were docking all the time, and for them it must have been horrible. I was fortunate enough to avoid that particular one, but
I know.
fixed an issue where information for joining players in a Mega Hull combat would not be properly displayed in the combat heads-up display.
Whatever.
Okay. Let me
I
just...
won't be saying that next week when I've got my own Hyperion.
That one just means that when you started, if you were running your Mega Battle, if you had your Mega in and you had another Mega Hull and somebody came in, one of your Alliance members or whatever, you didn't know who came in.
Whom it was,
because it never showed up on the HUD.
Okay, the splash reduction...
Blah, 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 Mega Hull.
Got my book. The splash reduction bonus added by the warplating armors will now be displayed in the full stat block for the ship the armor is equipped to.
That's cool.
Yay! They added to everything else.
That is good. There's another so what to that particular one in a second, isn't there? So that's good news. I like
you guys
that.
added extra use.
Yeah, we quite like that.
Well,
so,
and I think now with the repair time of the armor slashed, it comes so people will actually... Oh, sorry, it's there. Yeah,
it's there.
Actually use that.
The profit.
Let's start with the last one then.
Ren peaked too early. Story of his life.
There's a fill for that question mark?
Come on, read them out.
So, fix the case where the text tokens available might be displayed briefly in the shipyard when no tokens were available to use for the build. Whoops.
That's not good.
That is See, sometimes I say I hoped, and that is my folly, and things like this are why. Fixed a crash that could occur when deploying the base defense fleet immediately after refitting the flagship.
Yeah, there were situations where if you change something, the ship's in the base guard slot, and you're done, you coin a refit or whatever, then you try to make it defend the base, and you get a crash, you get an SOS.
Yeah, I was getting that.
Yeah. There were a whole bunch of bugs around the base defense fleet slot, and they've been fixing them all, which is cool.
Yeah, it's good.
And now, the one that we've all been waiting for and then got the hand tip. Reduce the repair times for war plating 1 to 3. Each of these are about half of their prior fixed time. 33 minutes 20 down to 16 minutes 40 for number 1. 23 minutes 20 down from 46 minutes 39 for the second one. Half an hour down from an hour for the last one.
Now
the repair efficiency of these.
That's without officers, and that's without R&D bonuses. That's the base time. So people will probably see less than that. People who are done with their R&D and have officers will see even less.
Yeah, the repair efficiency on these base is now 0.4 instead of what was 0.8.
0.8.
It's a bit better than what they had changed the cadmium armors to. I think they could have gone a little more because they still aren't in line with the stupidly low times for Conqueror holes, but that's just me being greedy. So,
I mean, I'm not hoping. I'm glad they've responded, and sometimes they do. You can do constructive criticism, okay, and constructive criticism from last Tuesday's show and the Saturday open mic. And I'm not saying it's just
TFC is
us.
a bunch of kiss ass.
Yeah, it proves a point that it does work. If you do constructive criticism and go, really? Are you sure about that? Is that really what you want to do? And here's a response to that. Let's reduce the times because actually you're right. It makes the hull, 6 times more efficient on fixed times just by adding the plates. So why would you want to add the plates? I'd rather go and pick a different base and hit 3 bases as opposed to hitting 1. Clearly, I get it. If you want to go for the top level base and you think I've got to add these plates to go and get it, then crack on, go and do it. But I'm not in that level of player, even though I'm at quite a high level. I'm not interested. That's not what I play this game for.
Yeah, but the only reason Kickside listens to us is because we're paid by Kickside.
Well, there is that. Yeah. No, I know.
I'm not seeing an inflow of money coming in. So
I'm getting your money, Brian.
My money is being diverted to one of you guys, I'm
Someone
sure.
needs to pay me then. Come on now.
Mate, you are getting something, Brian, because you're out the cellar and you're into a bedroom, even though you've got pink duvet cover, but you're definitely progressing.
You what?
Mark, you're on a roll tonight, man. Let me
A pink duvet cover.
Go back to the first show. He was in the cellar last time, so he's.
Okay, let me go delete some posts from TFC, so we only leave the messages Kickside approves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've obviously been reading the forums tonight before you come on here. I can tell.
Hey guys, I'm doing an AMA. Come at me, bro.
Oh, don't even go there. Yeah, cheers to for that one. That was a curveball, but there we go. Right, let me just go back.
That was too soon.
And this is the one that everyone's been complaining about. Okay, this is the Tuesday ball leg. Okay, George, this one's yours.
So-
Oh, okay. Look, I'm not even going to read it. Everyone's already seen it. Look, they raised the damages in the 60. Okay. And
yeah, don't read it verbatim.
I'm going to go on my little rant.
Yeah, go on.
Summarize it. I'll summarize it. They made a instant repair target into something that takes damage. Guys, honestly, please, if you're gonna make a complaint on the page, I really, really want some articulation. If you come on and go, oh well, Kickside, those F-sucking, this money grubbing, blah blah blah, that's not constructive. Okay. Yeah, it's not constructive. If you come on and go, hey, look, I just tried a 60 and compared it to a 70, and I'm taking more damage in a 60 than a 70 and this and that, and you have a good articulated issue, I love it. Put it on there. We will discuss it. We will argue. We will cry. I will call up Kicksai and bitch and moan for you. But if you come on and you start telling us that, hey, we're closing threads because, I don't want to see Kicksai's, sucking this or that, sorry, yeah, I'm going to close that.
How many times have I said about profanity on the page? I'm sick of saying it. We don't run the TFC for people just to come on and troll and then just bring yourselves down to a level where actually the comments you're making are just not for the community. They're just
I have no problem having a discussion. I've gone on rants against Kicksai before. I have had a couple of people actually contact me and say, hey, this is the issue that we're having right now with 60s, okay? And I actually am slated later on to do a couple of test runs, make a video. I'm posting up the video both on our page and I'm sending it to someone at Kicksai. And if the issue is substantive, someone's going to look into it. But the thing is those people that actually contacted me and said and articulated the issue are actually being heard now, going, hey, okay, they might have overdone it. And if I can actually show that they overdid it, someone might actually, take a look at it. But, when you come on and go, hey, those blah, 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 you know what I mean? No one wants to see that. I don't want to see that. I can't go to Kicksai or anybody. I can't even go to Mark and go, hey, Mark, Kicksai is sucking this. I just saw that on the page. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to close it. I'm sorry.
Bear in mind, our page is for minors as well. So, and it's one of my main disdains, right? So I will delete anybody. If you have profanity in your message, it's gone. It's as simple as that.
I just want an articulated response, something that I can actually go, okay, you know what? This makes sense. I'm on board. Awesome. Because Lord knows I have had, my issues with Kicksai's choices sometimes. And here's the thing, man. You guys all should know they actually have been listening. The armor itself that we just went over shows they're listening. They might not be able to do instantaneous changes for everybody or appease everybody in the game. That's impossible. I mean, we can't even do it on our page. But come on, at least give me something that has some substance that I can go, okay, you know what? I can check on this. I can go in and do this. And you guys got to remember this too, man. We're all doing this for free. This is all on our free time. It doesn't take just 30 seconds to click something on our phone to take care of the page or do the videos or do the show. So the abuse on top of everything else really kind of sucks sometimes. Just saying.
Is that our rant over?
Yeah, rant's over. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's a valid point. So, there are two issues here. We're in the modern age, okay? I understand that a lot of people access the page via their mobiles. And then sometimes they're playing the game and they're going like that. They're in the game. They don't want to take it off and that sort of stuff. So they get their mobile out and they go, post, send. Okay, without noticing, like tonight, I had to put 5-6 threads into one thread. And I chopped everybody's thread out that they'd started and I put it back into the original thread and then deleted those threads. Now, as I was in the middle of doing some of that, people weren't particularly very happy. But then again, the page is supposed to be helping the community, and people don't want to read through, people won't read through 5 or 6 threads of the same thing. There's no point. So when you're thinking about, I want to come here and access some good information, it's great to have a good thread and have a good conversation going that's all weighing up both sides and showing the impact of that. But if you can honestly take the time to have a look at what's been said in the thread beforehand, rather than just saying the same thing over and over again, because if it's the same, literally the same comments or the same solution, identical solution, then there's no point having both of them. It's a waste of time. So if it's either the same answer or it's the same complaint, but the output is the same, if it's not in the same thread, I'm not going to keep both of them up. And that's what we as a collective do, to keep the page small, tight, and tidy. That's the way we like it. Okay? So that is half the reason. Okay, then. And if you want a derogatory mark to be made against a company called Kixeye, please articulate it. That's the last point. Okay? And if it's valid, it stays. Even if you don't think it's valid, that gives the people an opportunity to go, I see your point, I disagree with that point, my thought is this, and that sort of stuff. Not with all the profanity.
I don't know. I personally don't think our page is an extension of forums. So,
well, it's not.
It's there to help players, so if we have something useful to players, we'll share. But a lot of people are starting to use our page as an extension of Kixeye Forum to complain and bitch and whine. I don't like it. I don't think that's the purpose of the community, is to help players play BP better. And if I don't think it's aligned with that, it probably doesn't belong in there.
Yeah, and I was going to say the same thing myself, and I said that to a couple of people today. If you really don't think what we're doing, and one of the comments back today was, well, how long does it take you just put a 30-second comment on here? You're not exactly giving up much of your own time. I can guarantee you I put at least 20 hours into this every week. At least 20 hours. Okay, through various different means, whether it's supporting the web page, whether it's supporting our forum, supporting these YouTube streams, okay, going out and actually building things and then producing videos and that sort of stuff, and then making sure my YouTube is in order and I answer all the questions that people do send to me as well. At least 20 hours a week doing that. Okay, and that's my own time. That's like 2 extra days of my working week given up, which I don't mind doing. But
we just don't want to be abused for it. Yeah.
Well, I don't care about being abused. I just make constructive criticism.
It's not really the abuse. Okay, I have to take that back. It's not the abuse, because you know what? We kind of let all that roll off of it. I really actually do hate being called a shill for Kixeye, though. That does bother me sometimes, because man, we actually do bring issues to them that we don't like. There's a lot of stuff that we do not like that they do that we address. That's not being a shill. That's, being a player.
Anyway, so on a positive note, let's end the show on a positive note. So we've got 4 TLC campaigns coming up. Okay, and you might want to go and hit 70s for the moment instead of 60s. 60s are hopefully being looked at again. And then let's have a look at it, because obviously it's clearly easier to hit a 70 now than it is a 60. And that shouldn't happen. So let's hope they make an adjustment again. And for those individuals that are getting from 15 minutes, they reckon, to 3.5 hours of damage difference, okay, then you're clearly better off probably going into a 70. But don't quote me on that. You have to try it yourself. I would do it just before you're about to sack it for the night and go to bed, because if it doesn't go so well, then obviously you can fix overnight.
Yeah, I'll be that's actually what I'm going to be testing later on tonight.
Is that your plan, George? Is it to have a quick little test? So
have both. I'm going to try and hit both and have back-to-back comparisons in one video that I can send them and go, hey, this is not cool.
So just bear in mind, the TLCs that are out there, there are videos. So scroll down through the page and pick up some of the older videos and that sort of thing. You can just bump, they'll come to the top. I might have a little scroll myself for a minute and see if we can bring some of them up. That would be great. And check out Ren's, because his was excellent. The campaign hasn't changed since he did his talk-through of all the different levels. So you should be able to get through it if you've got the right equipment. And follow Brian's advice there. Just because you're hooked in, because they give you 1 day's build token, don't entice yourself to go all the way through to the very, very end if you really don't think you've got the equipment to do it. It's a hook. That's all it is. So don't get reeled in.
If we can, for the War Games one, find... or Ren, if you can find your videos and repost them, that would be good. I'm going to probably put another link to the...
That's already done. I used the post from a page member there, and I posted all 3 videos in there. Like Lily
And
Newsom started a post, and I posted them all in there.
Okay, and
Brilliant.
I'll post up the old article as well at some point. And
Yeah,
hopefully we can get some people through some of these.
hope so. Yeah, it'd be good because it's a great price pack. It is a really good price pack. I think I like it. It's the best one as far as I'm concerned. But
Now, I want to address just one comment. I mean, some people said, well, Kixeye keeps releasing Conqueror and more Conqueror and more Conqueror hulls. Just remember, the main reason for that is they promised us that the PvE side of the game would be more stable, right? Would evolve more slowly, and that's what's happening. So, you know, there's no reason for them to release more PvE hulls if right now we have all the right hulls available. You know,
yeah, I agree.
If you have Citadels, and if you have Punishers, and if you have Hell Raids, and Apollos, I mean, what else do you need to do the PvE? So, and that's why there's no new prizes on that side of the house other than the odd flagship, right? And the side of the game that keeps evolving faster, and even then not that fast, is 1 hull a month. It's the PvP side of the house, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, people wanted a more stable game that didn't change as fast, and that's what it is.
Yeah, and also since they did the rebalancing of turrets and such, that basically eliminated all of the effective Conqueror holes, so they have to repopulate that side as well and give strategic diversity in terms of hull choice to attackers, and that's what they're doing. They just have to put more of them out there so that you can go out and attack different kinds of bases and defend yourself well and this and that.
Yeah, it's good. So continue posting on the page, guys. Okay, and constructive things get answered. Enjoy the videos that are up there. Have the best weekend you can with the TLCs, you know. And if you can't get the TLCs done, then you know it's a bonus to do them. But if you can't do them, you know, then do something else instead. You know, it's a bit of a Gizzit weekend, to be honest, isn't it? It's in between, you know, VXP and post raid and all that sort of stuff, you know. And it's normally the weekend that people go and visit other people they haven't seen for a long time if they want to jump for a week. If you're in Alliance, that's what I do with my Alliance. I just send them off to go and spread the good word of the game, you know, as they see fit.
And I think for once we should say, you know, like all these TLCs, they're not for the whales, they're not for the top players in the game. The only thing in there for the top players in the game is the limited revenge flagship. Everything else is for people to catch up if they want to do more base hitting and PvP, or even more base defense. Because don't forget, even if you say, well, you know, I don't hit bases, all those Conqueror holes, they make great base defenders. I use like a Vendetta and a Retribution on my base defense from the Conquerors. It works great.
And, you know, and the other is, too, is I know that there's 4 of them. 3 of them if you don't count the Mega Hall one, because that's really unto itself. You have 3 of them and a week to do them, and with good planning, one can actually help you get to the other as well, especially with all the tokens that they offer.
Yeah.
Take a look at Ren's videos. They're a great walkthrough. My article only covers the first 3, so it's not that fantastic, but it's a good way to view or change your viewpoint and actually you know, address these. Well, I think it's a really good chance to start today and kind of build one into the other, and it's a good opportunity for people to catch up. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Fair point, because if you win the revenge with the tokens, maybe you can get 1 built on time, and then you get the Vendettas, and you can get 2 of them built without armor. And they won't have any rank, but maybe they can be the tanks you needed to do war games level 1 and 2 at least. You know what I mean?
Yep, it's a very good setup, I think.
Right, I think that's it for tonight, guys. Do you agree? We done?
Yes, good show.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I always go for a good show when based on the number of feedbacks and that sort of stuff. 71 viewers, okay, then around about 71 to 80 viewers we've had all evening, that sort of stuff, and we've kept everybody in. So that's been good news. So thanks also for that come on this evening, okay. Thanks to the guys in the chat, okay. It's gone really, really well. Pro, you've been good. Well done. Okay, and he always makes me smile. Okay, and so Pro is God. There you go, buddy. Okay, just for you. Right, that's it. I'll just say goodnight all, and have a great weekend in BP.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Bye.